All right, everyone, let's talk about the shooting in Las Vegas. I'm not going to provide any links because this is just my thoughts on the shooting from what I've been hearing, but I will tell you good YouTubers to follow on this and the latest developments is Ed from his YouTube channel is The Outer Light, and he's been doing a lot of really wonderful follow ups and videos on the latest news. Um, I have two friends that were personally affected by the shooting. My friend Denise lost her daughter lost a friend in the shooting, and my friend Kelly Rose also lost a friend in the shooting. So to say that no lives were lost is wrong. There were real loss of life. For everyone who's saying that this is a false flag, perhaps to some degree it is a false flag. When I watch this shooting, I keep thinking about the JFK assassination. You know, we all saw the JFK assassination on that film. The Stephen Paddock is Lee Harvey Oswald in the tower. People that were there were reporting that there was more than one shooter, that there were shooters on the ground shooting into the crowd. So could those be our grassy knoll shooters? So I don't believe that this person acted alone. I believe that this person had help. I believe this was a very well orchestrated operation. I think the owners of the Mandalay Bay were involved because when I hear of all the things that this man did, he screwed the exit doors shut. He set up cameras. How do you do this in a hotel? Now, granted, I've never been in a penthouse, but how do you do all of this stuff and not one person notice and report this to security that there's someone who's doing strange things outside of the room? When I go stay at a hotel with my dogs, I try and, figure out when there's no one going to be in the hallway to walk my dogs down the hall so they don't bother anyone. And I have a hard time finding those times when there's no one in the hallways. So how does this man do all of this and nobody says anything? No one goes to security and says, hey, why is that guy screwing the door shut to the exits, to the emergency exits? That's a little strange. Why is this guy messing with the door and the peepholes and blah, 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 blah? Forget the excess baggage because, you can, if you put these weapons and things broken down into suitcases and different carrying things, and you're staying there for any amount of time, then I can see how that can get passed. Different bellhops, different times. Nobody asks you when you check into a hotel what's in your luggage. Nobody does that. But I have known when I've stayed at hotels, because I'm a late sleeper, I don't like housekeeping coming in and making up the room because they always wake me up when they come banging on the door, even with the do not disturb sign up. And after 3 days, they insist on coming in and checking the room out to make sure you're not destroying the room. Now, this person was said to be a high roller in the casino, so maybe there are exceptions to the rules for him. But today, the Las Vegas police came out and said that there were explosives in his vehicle, that he planned to do more damage. Or did he plan to do more damage with other help involved? I don't know. But I don't think he acted alone. And if the police are trying to sell that narrative, they better be pretty darn convincing, because when I hear eyewitnesses saying that there were multiple shooters, people on the ground, when there's reports coming in that people at other hotels reported shooters in their hotels, when all these things are happening, that I'm sorry, but there's too much meticulousness, well thought out, planned. It's too much. It's like a well-oiled machine, and the guy must have been off the charts genius to pull this off. But still, I don't think he did it alone, because there was too much planning. It was too well planned. We've never seen a shooter this well planned before, except for maybe the JFK assassination, which, today is still unsolved. And I think the same people that assassinated JFK are the same people that pulled this event off. I think that our government doesn't mind killing people, doesn't mind killing people for political agendas, doesn't mind killing people to push legislation. And I think that the CIA or the FBI or the NSA or some group in our government, I think they pulled this off, and this man is a patsy. I'm not saying that he didn't shoot anybody. I'm saying he was involved with one of these agencies, or some of these agencies, or all of these agencies. I don't know. But I think the government doesn't care who they kill or how many people they have to kill in order to get their agendas across. And perhaps this could have been a warning to President Trump that if you get in our way, if we can do this to concert goers and have this well planned out hit on innocent people, don't think we can't do it to you. So I think that it could have also been a warning to President Trump, which was why Trump supporters were targeted to hurt the president. And, it was really strange how the liberals and the Democrats were locked and loaded, ready with their tweets to go viral about gun legislation. And, I don't put it past any of those people to kill people to get their agendas across, especially Hillary Clinton. She might not be holding political office, but she is very much connected into the government with, her husband and her lifetime of work in the government. And for a calculating witch to go in and illegally kill the leader of Libya, Gaddafi, and then laugh about it. We came, we saw, he died, and then she cackles her witch cackle. To think that she wouldn't be approving of something like this happening in order to push gun control, I don't think that's a stretch. Now, I'm not saying she's in on it, but she was really quick with those tweets. And I think anyone who comes out and pushes gun control after these events are cashing in on these events. Like Rahm Emanuel says, never let a good crisis go to waste. The problem is you've got people who are in the hospital, people who are laying on a slab in the morgue, and these people are politicizing it while there are families that are hurting, people who have lost loved ones. And so, I think anyone who politicizes this is exploiting the situation. And I think that's just as bad as pulling the trigger themselves. And I think people that are politicizing it are showing themselves to be just disgusting, especially when I know two friends who are going to funerals this week, or have gone to funerals this week for someone that they lost in this shooting. And, you want to talk about the Second Amendment. The problem is, for these people who want gun control, the issue is the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment shall not be infringed. You shall not infringe upon the rights of people to own guns or weapons. And, that's the issue. If you want to do away with people's guns, you got to repeal that Second Amendment. You've got to get through the House and the Senate, and you have to go through get the states in a convention to do away with the Second Amendment if you want it to be infringed upon. And so don't give up your guns. I know that a lot of women say that abortion should not be infringed upon. They do not want any infringements on their birth control or their abortions or their bodies. Well, abortion was around when the Constitution and the Bill of Rights was written, and that's not an express written right under the Bill of Rights. So just as people on the right say that they do not want their gun rights to be infringed upon, they're on the other side, on the left side, the equal side, I guess you could say, or the equivalent on the other side is those who are saying that they do not want any infringements on their right to or their privilege to have an abortion. So that's kind of your left-right equivalent going back and forth. I personally am not going to say whether I own weapons, but if I do, as a single woman who lives alone, that should be my right to determine whether or not I'm going to own a weapon for the protection of my home. If someone were to break into my home while I am home, then that means that they don't care if they are going to hurt me, and I should have the right to determine how I'm going to defend myself from either being raped or killed or both. But those are just my thoughts on the shooting. Don't give up. Keep pressing the cops. I don't think the local law enforcement is involved in the cover-up, but I think that our government did this. I honestly do. And how this Paddock guy is involved in the government, I can't say for sure, but those are just my impressions. So comment, have a discussion, let me know what you think in the comments below. And I am out of here in 3, 2,